Oh my goodness. We had a wild one at Kansas. We had a fight. Between Ross Chastain and Noah Gragson. We had an electric battle for the win with Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. But first, if you live under a rock and you haven't seen this fight between Ross Chastain and Noah Gragson, we're going to show it to you right now. So let's get this up. I don't want slides up. I don't have a PowerPoint. It's one of the options. Okay. Here it is.
Damn.
Oh, man. Come on. It's your deal, dude. Come on now.
Could you guys hear the audio on that?
Yes.
I like
a little bit
Noah
behind
going,
on
the
me,
fuck's
but-
your deal, dude?
Stop.
And then there's
stop.
this funny video that I did share on Facebook. Chase Elliott over here.
The instigator. We had the intimidator. Now we have the instigator.
So loud in my ears.
Yeah, the fucking Gimp over here gimping it over there, telling him to fucking go there and throw punches.
I thought that was awesome. Because Denny posted a meme on his story earlier that was like, that had the 9 and the 42 in it, like the 9 hyping Noah up in it. And I'm like, what? I didn't know what happened. And then I saw
I
the
heard about
video.
this yesterday.
I guess Noah mentioned in his interview, you got guys like Chase Elliott telling you to beat his ass. So, I just imagine Noah being like, Chastain, he did it again. No, Chase is like, go beat him up. Because Chase Elliott has had no problem confronting people that he's had issues with over the years. So, yeah, that was a fight. Wish Noah didn't get held back immediately.
Yeah, guy in the bronze shirt, buddy, you are absolute bronze. All right, you're not going to win by holding people back like that. You're the third party here. Let the other two go for it.
Let those two cook. And Ross was saying stop. Ross kept Noah kept
After he threw the punch, he's like, "Oh, stop!"
No, he was saying stop when Noah was grabbing. He was like, stop. And you could tell with Ross, he had that one like. He's got like
he's cooking that
rage.
one up. Look, I loved his post-fight interview. Fucking loved it. He delivered probably one of the best lines I've ever heard out of a fucking villain. We have a no push policy at Trackhouse. That was cold.
Is he the villain?
He's the asshole.
He's definitely not babyface. I'll say that much.
That's true. That's true. He's just like Dale. That's what they're saying. But I think that was awesome.
I've never seen Dale Earnhardt throw a punch at a track.
He must have though.
I don't think
maybe.
Maybe back in the day when they didn't have cameras, maybe
Yeah,
behind the shed.
I feel like they wouldn't have seen many fights, maybe. But I feel like Dale probably would have kicked somebody's ass in the garage area or something.
Well, I think with Dale, they knew that Dale would get you back on the track.
Yeah.
He'd end your day real fucking quick. He'd do a lap 1 too.
The thing about Dale that's different with Ross is Dale knows what he's doing. I don't know if Ross actually
is not paying attention. That motherfucker is blind. I'm telling you, that motherfucker's blind. He needs an eye check.
Because his eyes look like this.
Yeah. I mean, Chase Elliott's got the lazy eye. He's got the side eye. And
you know it, knock him back straight.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying for weeks. Somebody needs to knock his fucking eye back in line so that way he can drive good again.
And I heard people saying this. You know, it seems like Ross Chastain always makes these mistakes and just runs away with it without any repercussion. Somebody finally tries to give him his comeuppance, and then Ross gets.
And he throws the first punch.
He gets the only punch off. The guy doesn't get to punch him.
That's probably what I'm telling you. He knew it was coming. He figured he'd get the first punch in, and then it would be broke up. These motherfuckers ain't dumb. He knew if he threw the first punch, he'd be the only one to get one in. He threw it first. Yeah. Noah's getting ready to deck his ass.
And I think Noah still might, because I heard Ross say
I don't think it's
something
over.
in
It's not over.
Ross said in his interview that after Talladega, Noah came up to him at the plane in like a similar way. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
he
anybody
mentioned
else heard
something
that.
about it. Noah mentioned something about it in, I think it was an interview they didn't broadcast on TV because they were trying to hurry up
Yeah.
and get to the USFL game, which,
Bro, they were pushing the hell out of the Birmingham Stallions.
yeah, they were.
Yesterday. That was so stupid.
But I think NASCAR released it on their social media. They had a post-race interview with Noah. It was after the fight where they were talking to him, and he said something about how he didn't help them at Talladega or something like that. And that was another one of the things that he was mad about or something. I don't know.
Well, Ross was like,
that was the toward the end. That's who caused the wreck was Ross
and Noah
getting up
Ross
under
was in the
Noah.
middle.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in Ross's interview, he said something to the effect of like, "Oh, he walked up to me at the plane like that." I'll see if I can find it, because it was interesting. I did see it earlier today. I didn't save it or anything, which I probably should have. But yeah, there's a funny video of Denny Hamlin reacting to it, which was funny.
When
Kyle
Bob
Larson was
Buck
laughing
ran
his ass off
there's
in real time.
he is Chastain pissed off not just Gregson but Kyle Busch too. So he's pissed off two people in one race that probably he shouldn't be pissing off.
Oh, I kind of forgot about that. Like,
The
forgot
Kyle
that
Busch
he was
incident
back-
flew under the radar because how early it happened in the race.
Yeah.
But
Right.
didn't
And
Kyle
because
have
of
to
the
leave
Noah.
incident? But didn't Busch have to leave the race?
There was so much happening in this race. Like it was,
That was
lap
something
to
else,
lap.
though.
There was something
Oh, okay.
going on.
So here is Ross's interview. I believe this is where he mentions it. This is an odd little
I haven't
post.
seen this one, I don't think.
Look how tense his shoulders look.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, he's ready for Kyle. Kyle.
Turtle.
Bro, it's stretched out. Look at
Hey, if he
him.
walks
This
up, he's
is-
gonna catch these melons.
This is a man that has gone through so much criticism. Look at him. I mean,
I bet he can't even move his neck to the left or the right. I
Looks
bet
like
that's what's wrong with him.
He looks like a
He's
little.
realized
minion.
what he's all what he's done in this moment. He's like, oh my god, I am.
You
it's
think he
me.
says no
Hi, I'm the
comment?
problem. It's me.
No comment. No comment. No comment.
He does say that a lot in this interview, for the record.
Oh fuck.
Tight racing off turn 4. Left him one lane exactly. And,
What was the discussion post race that you guys had there?
that's between Bill and I.
Were you surprised at his reaction?
No.
You guys trained together, right? Like you know each other well, and you feel like you have a good relationship with him.
He did the same thing after Talladega on the plane, and nothing happened, but that wasn't the first time he's approached me like that. I feel like when you get grabbed, that's what makes you escalate. That's between me and him.
Motherfucker acting like Noah's a stalker or some shit.
Everybody handles it differently, and I handle it another way.
There's a lot of physical racing out there today, Ross. Like, I mean, there's lots of contact with the field. What would you attribute that to?
I think everybody is evolving the new car. It's not so new anymore. We've got a good handle on it, and I mean, there's times where we're running 20, ish, and I can't get by people, and then a couple good restarts and some good adjustments. I feel certain the boys through over the track house.
All right, shut up.
Sal's waiting, by the way.
Hi, Sal.
Hi.
So yeah, that was
Is
Ross.
this the first time we've had 6 people?
No, we had 6 people.
Oh, it's not?
for
Okay.
the Cush Bush arrest episode. Because JB was here with the 5 usuals, and now Ryan is playing the role of JB this week, but with a hat on. So yeah, I mean it was interesting to see that happened. Something like that happened last week. We didn't see it, but you assume that Noah Gregson kind of ran up on Ross Chastain like that. Which was
Better not run into him at the nearest food city or food club
line.
or whatever
Food
it is.
line.
Food
Line, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Almirola said last year. which means they must go to the same supermarket, Ross and Almirola. I assume that
A
with
bunch of
Ross
them do
and
probably.
I assume Ross is probably in a better neighborhood now that he got that extension that he got from Trackhouse. I don't know if he's going to Food Lion anymore.
But he's
He
done
moved up
before.
on the Walmart.
Yeah,
Oh no, my bad. Target.
yeah, absolutely. We're big Target guys here. There's an ice cream truck going by right now. Sorry guys, I gotta go. Sal, any thoughts on the fight?
They should have let him keep fighting.
That's what we said. They shouldn't have held Noah back like they did.
I think it was Freddie Kraft who tweeted out that they should do it kind of like hockey. First one to hit the ground, then go ahead and separate them.
Sal, is your mom in here?
My brother probably.
Which one? Which brother?
Julian.
My guy, Julian.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
What a guy. We love Julian.
Based off
here.
what Mike sent me earlier, R.I.P. buddy. I'm sorry.
What?
King Julian
the
got
Bronzo.
skinned in Atlanta.
There's like this satire Instagram page that said King Julian got skinned and murdered outside of Atlanta.
Ooh.
Talking about the guy from Penguins of the Madagascar or whatever that shit is called. But yeah, I want to see a fight in NASCAR WWE edition. Well, you did yesterday.
We did a number of years ago. John West Townley.
Bro, that was an
That was
all-timer.
electric.
That was such.
That's what they need to do is fight out there on the racetrack where nobody can't get to them quick enough.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah.
Them track workers don't get paid enough to get in separate. To separate them
They're like,
fights.
this is not a
Not our
match.
This is
job.
above our pay rate here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though that fight between John West Townley and was it Spencer Gallagher?
Mhm.
So,
Those two never were in a fight in their life before that.
if I'm not
Like how
mistaken.
they-
I think one of them had a smile on his face too when he was trying to do the fucking. He tried to
takedown,
pick him up,
DDT.
to shove him, and drop him on the ground. Yeah, and you see Ross over there, the fucking white ass fucking teeth. Oh, sucker.
Yo,
That made
my
me
killer,
so mad.
my killer wants to see some UFC shit. What does he want to see? A fucking head kick?
He wants to see an overhand right.
Like Ross Chastain's not gonna throw a fucking scissor kick at him. I mean, Christ. We've had some pretty serious fights though. Jeff Gordon and Keselowski with Jamie Little right in the middle of it.
Well, that's
How much
it.
Keselowski in?
Hey, you
Yeah.
should
Kevin Harvick pushing Brad Keselowski into that
I've seen
fight.
Joe Logano in the
All
background on the original video, and
And
as soon as
takes
he
a
knows
swig
where
of
the
the Coke.
he turns around and goes, "Coke points."
He did do that, which I thought was
Like,
awesome.
double the points when you get a fight in it.
I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna say that was not a weak hook.
That was.
No,
that
Noah
was
Gregson, I
pretty
think
good.
just. I think
he
Noah Gregson
connected
just has
that
a
shit.
hell of a chin because that was a
Yo,
pretty
he
good
didn't even
shot.
like flinch on that.
That didn't sound like a weak hook either. That sounded like
Ross
that hurt.
got,
No,
I thought Ross
that
got
was-
him.
That was some pretty solid contact.
Yeah.
So that's
got-
just credit to Gregson's chin right there.
Ross nails him, and you got Kyle Larson going.
That was the best part. Is live.
the
You
best
hear,
part, it was
you hear
yeah.
Clint and Kurt start laughing first when
Yeah.
the fight starts,
You hear
and then you
Yeah.
see Kyle Larson stop mid-interview going, and then Mike Joy fucking lost it. Mike
That's the best
Joy, I
part,
think,
though,
lost it
is
in that
that
movie.
that's the best part though is that
Well, 'cause
Larson
Kyle-
is like clearly upset over like the Denny
Yeah.
thing. He's trying to give a serious interview.
And then he gets over it real
He's like,
quick.
I haven't seen the replay of it yet, and they're showing him like the live monitor that's going on,
Yeah.
and then you got fucking Ross and Noah fighting, and he's just gonna laugh over it. Like,
That was funny, 'cause he was like, I haven't seen a replay, so he was trying to see what happened.
Yeah.
And they show him the monitor. I
Oh,
mean,
man.
what a moment. We're 15 minutes in, and we haven't talked about who won yet. What about the fight with Mears and Ambrose? That was an awesome one. Chris Myers had an electric call from the Hollywood Hotel for that.
McDowell and Suarez, that was pretty recent too. I forgot about
Suarez
that.
Yeah.
beat that dude's ass.
That wasn't a fight. Suarez absolutely grabbed that man and slammed him on
Threw
the
him on the
He
hood.
just,
And then
like-
he got thrown to the ground from the pit crew.
Yeah. So yeah, and he was like, Suarez was getting held on the car because he was gonna murder Michael McDowell.
I'll tell you, man, feisty Mexicans don't want to piss him off.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Money, look at what he did.
Yo,
Right,
that guy
Buffy.
cooked. He's the best wrestler of all time. So yeah, we had a very good battle for the win between Hamlin and Kyle Larson. I wish that it could have came down to the wire, like coming to the line maybe. But still, it was a very, very entertaining battle for the win. And I feel like we had a lot of good lead changes. And we had, I think it was the most lead changes of a Kansas race ever.
Or
And
a
it
mile
felt like
and
there
a
was a
half.
lot of, yeah, I felt like there was a lot of action in the front really throughout the whole time. It seemed like, people could pass. It was interesting to see that because a lot of guys say you can't, but from what I saw, I thought people could. I'm not sure why. There's something on my screen right now. Okay. That was random. Yeah. But we had Hamlin and Larson. Larson got up into the wall. Hamlin kind of held him up there. They made contact, hooked Larson into the wall, and Denny Hamlin skated away. And he won the race. First win of the season for Denny Hamlin. First win actually for him since the Coke 600
Almost
last
a
year.
year.
So it's almost been a full season. So that you don't really think of that, but especially with how strong he was throughout last year.
And even this season. I mean, he
Mistakes just had him back this
isn't
year.
he?
Yeah.
He's like top 2 or 3 in average running position, but he just hasn't been able to put the finishes together.
I don't know if he's had like a winning car though at a lot of places though. I feel like he's been really good, but not like over
Lots
the
out.
hump.
Richmond
I
was
mean-
probably the closest before the speeding penalty.
It's the same issues that he had kind of last year, just pit road issues, whether it's
I think
him
it's the issue he
speeding
has
or
every year, right?
or it's just
always
pit
pit road.
crew.
I don't know. Kyle Busch is beating him this year.
Yeah. Hey, you might be on one about Kyle there, Tegan. You're pumping the brakes on people calling him a championship contender.
Oh, I mean, they call it, RCR is back. RCR is back. No, they're not.
Austin
They are
Dillon is
not.
30th in points.
RCR is where they have been for the last.
Yeah. Kyle
15
Busch will be
losses.
like Harvick did. He'll outdrive the equipment,
Austin Dillon is behind Chase Elliott in points.
which he also
Who's
had a point
actually-
penalty.
Right, but Chase Elliott is also about to pass Ryan Preece.
How about a top 10 out of fucking Austin Dillon yesterday, though? That was
Did
pretty.
he?
Yeah, he finished
Yeah.
10th.
Yo,
Bear hate strategy, remember?
he did, and he was racing like a bitch.
He was.
Apparently, according to Roth, everybody was. And he
Well,
was
Chase
the biggest
Elliott-
one.
Chase Elliott was zooming through the field. Then Austin Dillon blocks him, and then Chase loses all of his momentum. But here comes King Jesus Larson, and Austin Dillon's like, "Oh, let me get on my knees and let him right by."
King
And
Jesus
that-
Larson.
That really pissed me off. If I didn't already not like Austin Dillon. Oof. Chase finished 7th.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
He's so back. I was really impressed with him. I feel like he definitely had winning speed there towards the end, because it looked like at the beginning of the race, I was watching and I was like, oh, well, this one is gonna be ugly.
Yeah.
He was like
And then he started
26.
coming back.
Yeah, but they hit on
First
something
stage.
in the middle of the race where it seemed like he was, I'd say, as good as the 5 and the 24 there towards the end. Josh Berry was involved in about every incident on the track yesterday. So I don't know how really good the 48
Of his
was
own
because
making.
Josh Berry did cause multiple incidents.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He kind of took my pick out. So didn't he? He took Ty Gibbs out, right? Or that he was part of that whole thing.
Truex, that he got into him, and then Kyle Gibbs bounced off the 17 car back into Josh Berry. Ty
Right.
Gibbs got took out because his fucking teammate ran him down in the corner and then got him loose, and then tried to cry that "What's Ty doing? What's Ty doing?" and shit like that. Truex
You
is
should
Are we gonna see?
that's
the
another blind motherfucker right there.
We need a Martin Truex Jr. out of you, right? And we need a Alex Bowman fan out of you.
Okay,
buddy.
so I've got it on my phone. I'm not doing it because I've
Oh,
literally
you got it.
was
You gotta do
I
it.
about hit the
From last
floor.
night?
I about hit the floor yesterday because I was so lighted. So I got it on my PlayStation app because they let you have videos on there now. So I'm gonna play it.
Going back to the Ty Gibbs thing, I do think that was a really weak call by NASCAR to not allow him to return to the racetrack. Like, he did not have damage on his car, and he was pretty
Technically, he
fast.
did, but
I
they
mean-
could have pushed it to pit road. And I don't think he would have
Yeah.
been able to go back out. But
Didn't Christopher Bell also have like something like that? Like they made him get out of the car because they didn't want to push it?
No, I
I don't know
don't
what
think he
happened
could.
with
I
it.
don't.
Or did
When
he
he hit
mess
the wall, I
something
think
up
the
in like the
car's.
turning or
He hit the
something?
wall pretty good. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
he
he
tried.
was done.
I think he tried to roll, but couldn't.
He said it's not rolling. I think is what was told. That he
And
just
that's what
couldn't
happened
get
to
it
Ty Gibbs is he had 2 front tires blow out. And so Clint Boyer gives shit. He don't want to watch video or nothing anymore. He just said, "Oh, he drove too fast. That's a rookie. That's a rookie." Any excuse to fucking say, "Well, he's not been in here long. He should he'll learn. He drove too fast." No, 2 front flat tires is going to make that car do that. It's not going to fucking go, and it's going to be easy to blow. This motherfucker don't have no clue because he's not been in the fucking car. But I digress.
He did a test, buddy.
He did at Bowman Gray.
Big wheel. All right, can you hear it?
So, because he's a dumbass. He's not a fucking Ty Gibbs, bro. That goes all the time. Truth is a bitch. That motherfucker thinks he owns the track, and then he wants to throw blocks and shit. But when people do that to him, he's on that radio going, "Bitch, shit, Giddy. What the shit, Ty? Come down there to the second meal." Oh my goodness. You know, last week was Harvey trying to stand on me that. Get this thing, son. Get this thing out. Where's Kelly? Tell me that.
I did not realize that I sound like Cartman until somebody else mentioned it.
Oh, yeah. If South Park ever needs someone to, if they ever come out with new episodes, they need to get a hold of Tegan. He could have that job in the snap of a finger.
Well, they better give me some electrolyte or something. I was lying after that one.
Now every time Truex complains, you got to do that.
I know, right? I mean,
you're going to be doing that a
motherfuckers
lot.
always complaining. They played on the fucking TV because they complained so much.
You're going to be doing that a lot then. if
No shit.
You do that every time he complains. I feel like every week he's whining about something.
Oh.
It's something in the water there at Joe Gibbs. They're always so they always got to find something to complain about. We're 22 minutes in, and this is usually a first 10-minute segment. So this is odd that we're at this point and we haven't done this yet. But it's time, of course. You know what time it is. We all know. Is this one? Yeah. All right, Maddie, hit me with your 2 dudes.
All right. We've got Denny Hamlin, your winner of the race. He, without a doubt, had the best long-run car. Larson probably had the best short-run speed. It was a shame that Byron spent so much time in the back once he got 2 laps down because he was really fast and he ended up with the top 3. And then my second dude is going to be Bubba. Bubba was a top probably 5 car all day long, at least top 7, and he was able to finish in 4th. Very strong day for him. There we go. I'll give it an honorable mention as well to Noah, just for his off the track.
His bravery.
Yeah, his bravery.
Give one to Ryan too. Give one to Ryan too.
Okay, yeah. An honorable mention to Ryan, not only giving me a point for picking Hamlin, but Hamlin also won the race, so I got 2. So
yeah. So with that, Matt does take the lead in our pod picks standings. We're not going to get to that just yet.
Whoops.
But Ryan,
it's been very. You're good.
Wesley, you're muted. He's trying to talk.
So I would like to point out that Ryan picks for me and Matt. Matt wins the race. I finished last.
Ryan covered all the bases with his picks.
Up amidst here.
Is Ryan the smartest or dumbest picker ever?
Yes.
Apparently.
He is. Yeah, so Ryan picked first and last, which I thought was fun. So yeah, Matt, thanks Ryan for that.
Joe Gibbs Racing has been on kind of a heater here for the
They
past
have.
few weeks. They're second, third, and fourth.
And they done this last year too. About this point, they started really cooking.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is, Ford fucked themselves in the ass. Like they didn't have anything on the mile half last year, and then they changed their nose this year to make it worse.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like they're putting all their money into the fucking short tracks and shit, and the miles apparently. Which
Am I crazy to say that, in my opinion, the fastest Ford in most occasions this year has been Brad Keselowski?
Brad.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Brad is
between just here lately, but now Harvick has too. Harvick just has had bad luck until this week.
But you look
It
at
seems
Brad,
Harvick
like,
Got
I feel
rushed
like
out
Brad
of the
ran-
top 5.
There was a few races where Brad was running well and had like some late issues, like at Phoenix and Vegas, where he was running top 10 all day, but didn't finish that way.
And it's not even like just Brad. I think it's Chris Buescher too. Like it seems like every Ford team, aside from RFK, has taken a big leap back. And RFK is like kind of jumped on top of that, and they've by
I don't
far
know about
been
Harvick.
probably the best
At
Ford
this
team
point
this
last year, he was already not even top 10.
Well, I'm
points, and
not
now
talking
he's
about like each individual car team. I'm talking about like
as a whole.
'cause Harvick
Yeah.
is always going to be Harvick, but Haas in general, outside of Harvick and maybe like Ryan Preece, have not been good this year.
I'm going to tell you, I don't think Preece is much of an improvement this year compared to Cole.
He's been doing.
He's
slightly
had his
better.
moments, but he's not had enough.
I'll tell you what, Cole Custer is not going to get you a pole at Martinsville. I'm just going to say that.
I mean,
I don't-
do we think Cole Custer, though, would be running 28th in points like Ryan Preece?
Are you sure? I
Yes.
thought Cole Custer got the pole there last year.
No,
Custer got a
No.
pole somewhere last year, didn't he?
Bristol Dirt. But Cole Custer is not going to lead you
Uh-huh.
over 100 laps there either. I'll just say that.
Well, let's be
Um,
honest. Whoever was in the front in that fucking race fucking had it.
I'll tell you, but Ryan Preece, I feel like he said I had a real large amount of bad luck this year also. Cole Custer was just not very quick. Ryan Preece has showed in multiple instances that he is taking that 41 car kind of where Cole Custer wasn't able to. But it seems like that there's been every late wreck he's been caught up in. I mean, Daytona, I think he had one of the best cars there and got caught up late. And it just seems like he's getting the short end of the stick on a lot of deals. But to go to the point about Ford, Kevin Harvick is the highest running Ford in points, 5th. So I'll go through each organization. So SHR has Harvick in 5th, Briscoe in 17th, Almirola 25th, and Preece 28th. Penske has Ryan Blaney in 7th, Joey Logano in 11th, and Austin Cindric in 21st, who Austin
Well, he
Cindric was
jumped,
top 10.
went down real quick, didn't he?
He was top 10. We were talking a couple weeks ago. He was top
He was
10
7th at
points,
one
and
point. Yeah.
We were like, how is he there? And he has
No,
really
no.
come back down to earth. They are way off there in the 2 camp. And then you got RFK at 10th and 13th in points. So a pretty impressive showing from them. You got Brad 10th, Chris Buescher in 13th. Michael McDowell, Todd Gillen, they're 20th and 23rd, which is pretty good for front row. Harrison Burton outside the top 30 in points.
The more impressive thing about Todd Gillen's, those too, is that not all of his starts have been in
The same
that
car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
been
had
in some-
one or two in the Rick Ware car.
in a pretty
and-
shit car. Yeah.
Which we're going to speak a little about Rick Ware. Ryan Newman is back in that 50-something for a select
Yeah, I like how
amount of
Clint's
races.
like, oh, yeah, Newman's going to step that program up. I'm like, no, he's not. they ain't got the
You're
equipment.
excited
They
that
ain't got the
Ryan
equipment for Newman. And Newman's not been in that car, in this
And
car
let's be
yet.
real. Ryan
Reese.
Newman, I'm going to say it, is overrated.
I
Okay.
think he was
Ryan
too.
Newman
After he left,
has
after he
eight-
got left Penske, he was shit. He didn't.
Even
do-
when he was still
Yeah.
there for the last, and Ryan Newman has 18 career wins, right? Pretty good career. 12 of them were in the first 3 or 4 years of his career.
Yeah.
So he only got 6 in
the other
18
cars.
years. Yeah. And he was in competitive equipment for, I'd say, a very good part of his career.
I wouldn't give RCR that much credit.
Made the
That's-
final.
That
that's-
was during the time they were struggling really bad.
How many years was it? 5 or 6 that he was there?
Yeah.
We look at the
I don't-
SHR years. He was there for 4 or 5 years and got 3 wins, maybe.
Mhm.
and then was replaced by Kurt Busch, who won more than that. I'm pretty sure. Kurt at least
And
won
was in the
like
car
every year.
much shorter time period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but respect to Newman having the luckiest playoff run of all time, and breaking the collective heart of every Jeff Gordon fan in 2014, because he didn't belong there because he put Kyle Larson in the wall, and Jeff Gordon was leading in Homestead and decided to pit to get out of the way of all the championship cars to let them have a race for the win. When if he was competing for the championship, he wouldn't have, and he would have pulled away and won the championship.
I would just like to say that this has disaster written all over it.
For
What,
Newman?
Newman in the 51?
Yes. So we have Ryan Newman.
Is Cody
who
Ware going to beat him up?
Who is notably one of the hardest guys
To
in the
pass.
field to pass.
Pat
In
Darlington.
one of the slowest cars.
You put him in a back marker car that he has never
a narrow
driven
track.
before. He's never driven the next gen car. So what the
Could
fuck
he
is
beat
going
up
to happen?
Ross?
I was about to
Maybe-
say, give me a Newman versus Chastain fight.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Maybe
Bro, I
Newman
think-
goes up and says, "Wreck me, bitch."
I think Newman would put him through a table or something.
He's gonna go up to
Like-
him before the race and be like, "If you're anywhere near me, be careful."
Yeah. I mean, do we think he does?
Ross Chastain is the leader trying to lap his ass late in
Ooh.
that race.
Yeah. I hope Ross is trying to lap Noah.
No, I'm sure
'Cause I
NASCAR
feel like-
will step in.
Oh, they always do.
Can't change the outcome of this race.
I don't get their
Only
police.
us can do that.
Exactly. Only we can throw a water bottle on the track. Oh, you're up 8 seconds. Here's debris.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like it's too. Like there was some that I feel like the caution that we had late this year have been legitimate, but I feel like in the past there's been some where it's like, all right, we got a water bottle in the track. They were looking for something.
Yeah.
There was one race, I think it was like Richmond 2012 with Tony Stewart, where he was up a ridiculous amount, and the littlest thing on the track that wasn't even there, they put a yellow out for because they wanted to.
I mean, there for the longest time, the TV didn't even show the debris because they knew there was no point. It wasn't there. So they changed the subject.
Yeah. Which let's talk a little bit about TV. Kurt Busch did a really good job again. I think he is a really good asset for the booth, and I think he elevated Clint during that race. I think Clint was better than usual. I really think that Kurt Busch, if I'm going to be completely honest, should be the guy in the booth with Kevin Harvick next year. I was really impressed with how he did at Coda, and then this week, and I've really liked anything that he's done, like when he was doing the Truck Series kind of full time ish in 2020 or 2021. I'm a really big fan of Kurt Busch in the booth. What did you guys think about the broadcast?
I thought it was good. Like you said, Kurt is definitely one of the. I think he's better than Tony when Tony steps in.
Tony just sounds bored.
Yeah, and it's kind of different with Tony. There
Sounds not
because-
comfortable with it.
Yeah, because he's also watching and focusing on his cars out. on
Well,
the
let's be
track.
honest.
Kurt
So
is
is
kind of-
Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt's worried about the 45 and the 23.
Yeah, but like I think it's different with Tony because he's like the legit owner.
Because whenever like the SHR cars wrecked at Daytona or Talladega, you could hear Tony being like, "Yep, it's just a product of these tracks," as he lost like $750,000.
And I do like how you get a lot of the like actual insight on what it's like inside the car with Kurt being someone who has ran that type of car. So I'm definitely all for him. I wish they'd make him like permanent for the rest of the season, but definitely for next year, I think he should be in the booth full time.
I think though that would be to him admitting that he can't get back in the car.
Which I don't
Because
know
I'm gonna be honest, he sounds better and looks better than what he did at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, here to me like, what the hell's wrong with Kurt that hadn't watched it in like the last year since he got concussed? They just thought he, I guess, was just full on stupid. I guess I don't know. And like I had to explain to them what was going on. They had no clue, but they could tell something was up. Now I don't think you can. It's not there.
And
like it was.
he wants to end on his own terms.
Yeah.
I feel like think he wants to at least give it another go and try again, and like because
At this point, though, I don't think he can jump back in the car and do good if he stays out of it much longer.
I don't know. I mean, I will say, like, I saw his last race live, and I had no idea. Like, he had no idea. I mean, he actually ran a really good race. He was on a different strategy at New Hampshire last year, got a top 10. But like that being his last race, like it's kind of sad that like he had no idea like that, and people couldn't really give him the flowers that he deserved, because a lot of times even there's some guys that retire without much fanfare, but they all kind of get some kind of recognition. Like Matt Kenseth, I know he retired like 3 times, but he got a little bit. Mark Martin retired 8 times. But guys like Gordon, Johnson, and Junior, and you assume Harvick will this year. I put him kind of on the level of those 3 guys that I mentioned before. Any other thoughts on the broadcast, though?
I thought it was good.
Well, I liked it how when you see Larson spin out from the bumper of Reddick, you hear all 3 of them go, "No!" That took me back to DW days, because DW used to do that all the time. It was like his mama had just got wrecked. It was so personal with him, and that's what it felt like with them 3. All 3 of them were like, "No!"
Because Clint sucks off Larson any chance he gets, and Kurt didn't want to see his guy spin somebody out.
Yeah.
That was kind of, you kind of forget about that happening. That seemed like it was kind of just like an accidental
Contact
deal from Reddick.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next week we've got a full barn in the booth the whole time. We have the Petties in stage 1.
Like
As
Richard
if Richard
Petty
Petty
didn't
didn't.
get there.
Richard Petty might say something really bad.
We said this last year, and I don't think he did, but I don't think he was all that good in the booth either.
He wasn't. And I don't mind Kyle Petty and his ponytail.
All I can think about Kyle Petty is, "I'm sorry, that's the truth." That's all that comes out of his mouth is he's, "I'm sorry, I'm just telling you like it is." That's all that comes out of that motherfucker's mouth.
I
Like
have a
when
few
Hamlin
things I think of when I think of Kyle Petty. That's incredible. He goes, "That's incredible." There's like a compilation on YouTube of Kyle Petty saying that's incredible. I think of him whenever he mentions Joey Logano, he calls him Joy. Just listen for that. And then what the fuck's Kyle Petty got to do with this?
Don't forget his feud with Hamlin when Hamlin brought him up in an interview.
Yeah. But stage 2 is where and 3 is where it's going to get really fun. You've got Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, Bill Elliott, who I thought was fine last year. And Carl Edwards. This guy has been a mystery for years. Nobody knows where he is.
He's down on Ross Chastain's watermelon farm.
Nobody knows what he's doing. Nobody knows where he's been. But we're going to hear from him in stage 2 and stage 3. And Carl Edwards used to kind of pop in for some nationwide series broadcasts back in the ESPN days. And I thought, like, whenever he'd wreck out early, like, he'd go into the studio and talk with them the whole time. I thought he was always really good at that.
Or a couple All-Star races where he didn't make it. He would do, like, the pit road stuff. So,
yeah. So, Carl Edwards, I think will be very, very good. Maybe this could be a way to get him back in more often. I wouldn't mind seeing Carl Edwards around more. I thought that'd be good because I think he was a really, really good personality for the sport. And I feel like he was kind of hitting like a prime for him.
Yeah.
Because Joe Gibbs was really kind of about to assert their dominance on the Cup Series as they had kind of through that 2015 to 2019 range. And I think Carl Edwards kind of got out of that a little bit. Like he as he had carried that team through 2016 and was, if that late caution doesn't happen, which argue whether or not it should have happened there in 2016, I think that he could have potentially won that championship if he stayed around a little bit longer. Because you've seen the 19 with Martin Truex Jr., and we know Suarez didn't do too well. But I'm not going to put the blame on him for that because I think he kind of got thrown in when he wasn't ready.
He was a substitute driver for a year.
For 2
or 2 years.
For 2 years, and then got thrown into the 41.
Because his sponsor brought the money.
Which I don't think he did as bad in the 41 as people acted like he did.
He did.
He made the playoffs
pretty quick in the 41. Yeah,
he was quick in the 41. It it was just like he got thrown into the 41.
He
after
never
push left.
got laid somewhere long enough to settle in.
And then
If
now
he
he's
just stayed
not-
at that 41 car, I think he would have been good, and he'd still be there.
It wasn't his decision though, right?
No, it was he didn't have the sponsor.
Because then he went to the 96.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
And then
didn't have a sponsor.
finally went to the 99, where I believe he stays for a good while.
I think we'll see him there for a long time.
which is
but yeah,
is good for him.
It is. It'll be nice to hear from Carl though. I'm excited to hear that. Not excited to hear from Richard Petty. I wish he was commentating Talladega so he could call it the place.
Trademark.
Trademark, of course. But yeah, we didn't really recap the race as a whole. I thought it was thoroughly entertaining throughout. There was constant action. I think it was the best race of this year for sure, and potentially the best next-gen race in general. The Coke 600 last year might have something to say to this, but I haven't been thoroughly entertained by a next-gen race to the effect of this. Any other points from the race you guys want to talk about, or how much you enjoyed it?
It was entertaining side-by-side racing for sure. It was neat to see like how some people would try to run the bottom, and then if you stayed up on the top, you'd get that run. I was honestly thoroughly impressed with Harvick, the way he was able to wrap his car around the bottom and like
a lot of good did him.
Yeah, it did him good for a while, but then as the race continued on, that lane just got shot, and it didn't seem like he was too good running the middle to the top. But yeah, it was definitely probably the most exciting.
Kansas is kind of like it is on the game. It's a one-lane racetrack, and it's the top lane. It's not the bottom.
Yeah.
The bottom is more competitive, I think, though, in real life than on the game.
Oh yeah, true.
Because it's totally non-competitive on the game. Ryan, Sal, Wessel, you guys' thoughts?
I thought it's definitely, in my opinion, the best race the next gen cars shown, especially on a mile and a half. Mile and a halves have been pretty lackluster under this package and this car.
This year wasn't last year.
Yeah, last year I thought it was really
last year it was the
I'm saying like off this. I'm saying like this year it's like starting to like it was just not been the greatest to watch. So it was nice to see finally a mile and a half kind of show that the package can still work this year.
Isn't this just our second truly 1 mile and a half though of the season?
Yeah, Vegas and Atlanta were the ones we've had so
far.
And we don't really count Atlanta anymore.
Fox said that they actually count it as a super speedway now.
Vegas did suck though.
Yeah, but honestly, it was nice to see both that we had multiple lanes in use and competitive all around. A lot of action, and then the fight. So
the fight. Sally.
I mean, it was definitely one of the best races. If the Coke 600 can be as good as it was last year, I'm thinking you're probably looking at those two as the best races of the season. But yeah, I mean, this had it all. Cautions. Some of the cautions, I think it was between the end of stage 2, beginning of stage 3. It kind of got annoying.
I think it was like
go green.
Stage 2 had a lot of cautions, I thought.
Yeah. And then from there, you kind of got that long green flag run there at the end of, or in stage 3, most of it. It was a fun race.
Yeah. Wessel?
I think it was definitely one of the better next gen races. Like you said, Coke 600 last year kind of really.
That bang.
It was a good race, yeah. But I'm going to attribute some of this to the track. A lot of people sleep on Kansas, but it kind of has that Homestead style of progressive banking where you can kind of get
except the bottom don't work.
Well, yeah, I think it's just because maybe it's maybe the heat and I don't know, the sun shining on the track, something like that with Kansas.
No, you get down to it, it is the horsepower package. If they would give them horsepower back, the bottom would come back in too.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be able to.
Because they have to run the top on to keep that momentum going.
Yeah. And I just like Sal said, this race had everything. Like there was side by side action actual passing, not what NASCAR considers fucking passing, throughout the entire race. And, we had a good finish. And to note on the finish, I feel like we haven't talked about it enough, that there's a lot of people coming at Denny
For the respect comment
Yeah.
that he had a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. And then it's like, I don't put that all on Denny because, like, as he was running him down that entire last, like, what was it, 15, 20 laps that he was running him down, Kyle was loose. He was loose he very loose. And he caught
like
the
something
wall.
would bring Denny back, and then he would get right back up to him. He was much quicker than him towards the end.
Yeah. It kind of gave me, for like the last like 5 laps, I was like, this is going to end up exactly how 2020 was with Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick. We're going to have not Blaney. Jeez, we're gonna have Hamlin, who's clearly faster, and he can't get by the 5 because of dirty air. But you see Kyle, he got loose on the last lap off of turn 2. He hit the wall before Denny ever got to him. I think that was the checkup that kind of caused the incident. I'm not gonna put that all on Denny for like crowding him against the wall. And it's the last lap. Like, you gotta stick your nose on that quarter panel, get as much side drafting as you can.
Yeah. And Kyle Larson would have done the same thing.
Yeah, let's face it. Kyle Larson has done that in the last couple of years. He's done it a few times.
More than once.
But he's the greatest driver in the world. He doesn't make mistakes running the top lane. That's his lane.
Yeah, that's the Kyle Larson line.
He doesn't make mistakes like that. He's the greatest ever. Put him in an F1 car.
Actions hypocritical. Kyle Larson's wife tweeted out, which I find it kind of hypocritical in itself. She was awfully quiet when he was wrecking Chase Elliott.
Listen to the Chase Elliott fans over here having a little two-way conversation.
Well, yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah. As a neutral person, yeah. I'll give my opinion on it. I don't blame Hamlin for doing what he did, and I think if he was like role reversed, I wouldn't actually blame Larson for doing it. I feel like if it's the last lap, like unless like you legitimately just spin out the person, I think you have every right to try to go side by side. And if you do touch, I think it's all good. Like, people are probably looking at it from the perspective that Larson has been the one to wreck people, like his teammate Chase. So I think Hamlin kind of gets a little bit of a, like, I don't personally think Hamlin did anything wrong, but to the people that do think he did something wrong, I think they are gonna give him a pass by default just because of who it's been on, and that person doing it is fresh in everybody's brain. But I don't blame Hamlin, and if it was role reversed, I wouldn't blame Larson for doing it either.
Yeah, and I feel like people are gonna, anytime Denny Hamlin does anything, people are gonna be angry about it because they don't like him.
He speaks too much.
It's the Toyota effect, and I mean, and also he's
and
always
his mouth.
That, and he's always going to have that.
Opinionated.
He's always going to have that Kyle Busch effect. Kyle Busch wrecked the most popular driver in NASCAR, and it carried with him for his entire career. I think it's kind of starting to flip a little bit. Finally. And I think Denny's probably going to carry that out for the rest of his career after wrecking Chase at Martinsville.
Yeah, that is a bit of a hangover.
He kind of had it before then, though, because it wasn't
to
his mouth.
this degree, though.
Yeah, but it's mostly because
like
he's
even Kyle Busch was the exact same way. Like, he had a mouth. He got kicked out of fucking Hendrick because of that mouth. Like, that's how he lost his ride. And it's just kind of, they've both taken very similar career paths, I would say.
Danny did it way later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
stayed with one team. He's not on his third team.
Yeah.
Still under contract talks.
Well, we don't. That's an interesting
2311 is looking for a third charter for next season.
Kurt Busch. Cush Busch. Kurt Busch. George Bush.
What number would they choose?
67.
I would assume.
A number they ran at the
Daytona 500. 500. Yeah.
23, 45, 67, 89, 01.
FedEx is like very
writing on the wall
here lately.
They've been on the last few weeks, and they will be on at Darlington next week. But we have seen Shingrix. As Denny
Great
Hamlin
Clips will
told us.
probably always stay with Denny. Great Clips has been with Denny for a while, but I think
Sport.
they've also just been with all of Joe Gibbs for a while.
And Toyota.
I feel like Denny though more than anybody though. Like they
Yeah.
were with Denny
Because they
before.
also sponsor him in Xfinity when he runs Darlington there.
Mhm.
Is he
Yeah.
racing this
Is he-
weekend in Xfinity?
I don't think
I don't
so.
think so. No.
It's another thing too. Like you bring up like the FedEx sponsorship. Why do you think Bush got kind of had to leave Joe Gibbs? M&M's was leaving at that point, right?
Yeah.
And M&M's was with Kyle.
Well, the thing about Kyle Busch is, well,
I'm
I
just
think
saying, like, I'm just saying, like, sponsorship. It's kind of the same thing. You're starting to see their main sponsor with the same team that.
the thing about Joe Gibbs is Joe Gibbs wants one sponsor or just like two sponsors to
But that's
sponsor
not
teams.
that's
They
not
don't
how the
want-
sponsor model is not going to work out like that.
Not
in
how
today's
it's going
NASCAR.
now, and it's shown that way with Denny Hamlin, but he still only has 2 or 3 main sponsors. Look at the, everybody says, "Oh, look what Richard Childress has done for Kyle Busch. He found him sponsor because he tried." Yeah, he's fucking running 50 fucking schemes this year because of those sponsors.
He's got like a North Carolina grill company on his car.
Yeah, and I mean,
McLaren Grills, baby.
I mean, look at Harvick. You really see kind of like 3 or 4 main sponsors with him: Ream, Busch Light,
And they
obviously.
actually buy that from Busch Beer. Busch has those spots, but they sell it to other sponsors if they're wanting it. So Busch is kind of smart. They're probably selling it for more than what it's worth.
It's like all those mainstay sponsors that we're used to seeing. Really, there's only like 3 now. Like we have Napa with Chase, and it's like we're losing that brand identity in NASCAR.
Yeah.
Is that
you have Pennzoil with Joey.
Yeah,
and then you've
have
got
Hendrick
Busch.
Cars
with
I would say
Larson,
probably
Ally,
HendrickCars.com and
Bowman.
Ally.
Yeah.
And then Busch Light kind of with Harvick because Busch Light is the most
Mhm.
popular.
Ally really don't count though, because they didn't come back till just a couple seasons ago before Johnson hung it up.
And then
So
I mean, I would think like, and I mean, Anheuser has been there. I think it feels like almost the longest, kind of. Besides
I
Miller,
would love to see Budweiser on a car before this year's over.
I think
and I think
everyone
it might happen because Delana, she keeps getting asked about it every Sunday when she does her little Q&A, and people keep asking, "Are y'all going to do any more tribute schemes this year?" And she said, "We've got a few more planned." So I'm hoping that they're going to bring back the championship Budweiser paint scheme. I don't see why they wouldn't. It's the same.
I would love to see the Budweiser scheme back because no matter if it was Budweiser with Junior or Budweiser with Harvick, I think Budweiser has always had pretty nice schemes overall.
Yeah.
Everyone,
even when they went all black, it was still nice.
Yeah, and I mean you had the red 8, you had the black 29, and they went to the red and white 29 and the red and white 4.
You forget about the red 9. The most famous Budweiser driver, Casey Kane.
I forgot
Come on now.
I forgot Budweiser sponsored Kane
And you
because
also
Kane
forget that Eric Almirola also.
That's the reason why they
drove that car.
left.
I mean,
Eric Almirola drove that car. Okay.
I mean, but those are 2 guys that you don't expect to be sponsored by a beer company.
I don't think they wanted to sponsor Eric Almirola.
And I don't think they enjoyed Casey Kane either. They went with the baby face, but I don't remember him ever being in Victory Lane going. He's probably going. Because that's me.
That's why Farmers Insurance worked so much in the 5-car when Casey was there.
I feel like at the time though that Casey Kane was he did make sense for them because that's when he was like kind of a rising
He wasn't
star.
their brand. He wasn't their. He wasn't a face for the company though.
No.
Not like Junior or Harvick has.
Who will it be? Will it be
Ross?
I don't know. I think Josh Berry has a chance of keeping that sponsorship now.
I think Josh Berry.
That's
the
an
biggest
American
one.
right there. He drinks domestic beer and only domestic beer.
I think Josh.
He will
Berry,
slap you if you pull up with a Heineken.
Especially with the rumors of him possibly. It looks like more and more likely that he's going to be that guy in SHR. And
if you're bringing a Labatt Blue to the Josh Berry function, you're getting kicked in the balls. Okay. This guy drinks American beer. There is not a more American person than Josh Berry. Okay.
Then don't be surprised if Junior's in Anheuser Busch's ear. Be like, yeah, just go with Berry. Go with Berry. Go with Berry.
Tell me that there's a more American human being than Josh Berry. This guy started off in the grassroots.
There is one, and he's in the NASCAR Cup Series field.
Okay, shh. Let me cook here, okay? He's from Hendersonville, Missouri, or
What are
wherever
you
he's
cooking?
from.
A fucking Arby's sandwich?
I might be.
Those
Let 'em
fucking
cook,
suck,
but I
Mike.
ain't
That's not
eating.
a compliment.
Okay, well, we're gonna see how it tastes. Okay, let me cook, and you'll taste it.
I ain't
You.
tasting shit from you.
You want to, yo? I'm right here. You don't want this, dude. I will mess
Brad
you up.
Keselowski.
Hey, Wetzel, pick me up on your way. We'll go beat up Mike. I mean, it's just 15 hours up there in Troy, New York.
15-hour drive to beat me up.
I'll go make the 5-minute drive down the road.
What? Matt's on the
Matt got
sideline.
popcorn.
I'm just saying,
Trash!
Brad Keselowski hangs an American flag out of his window every time he wins a race. I'm just saying.
What's more American than racing grassroots coming through the local racing scene and then being
Brad did it
noticed
too.
by
Brad did
redneck
the
Jesus?
same exact path that Josh
He
Berry
might
did.
have had the same arc.
And but I mean, once
Brad
Miller left,
Keselowski walked the same path Josh Berry did.
but once Miller
Well-
left him, he hasn't had a beer
Did
Running
he
in
go?
late
Because
models
his dad
for
was
Dale
already
Earnhardt Jr.
established
and
in
in
the
the
NASCAR
Xfinity
series.
series for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Because I
I
already
feel
had
like
dad
Josh
that was
Berry
already
came from
established.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
Josh Berry
Keselowski was in
did.
the sport. Burra came from the mud.
I mean, we had Brian Keselowski before we had Brad. So Brian is the one that laid down the groundwork for little brother.
He wasn't very good.
Still, you ain't got to be good to lay the groundwork. You just got to be quick.
I ain't gonna let him hurt my boy.
Either.
He's gonna kill my boy.
He ain't gonna kill my boy.
Rest in peace, Bob Keselowski. Anyway, pod picks.
I don't get to pick this week. Damn.
Yeah, bitch.
So winner was Maddie
Heyo.
via Ryan. Now Matt, 5 points for Matt on the season. So
This is getting quite the lengthy list here.
we head to Darlington. And picking first is Wessel because Christopher Bell finished last
Via Ryan.
via Ryan.
So I am gonna go with a guy that is notably very good at Darlington. He finally just
Josh
got a
Martin?
win this weekend.
You fuckhead.
I'm taking actions phenomenal, Denny Hamlin.
God damn it. Okay. Fine. Fuck me. Am I next? I'm next. Ty Gibbs finished like last, right? Was he ahead of Barry? He must have been. Let's see.
Yeah, Gibbs finished
It was
number 30.
it was
Yo,
Bell,
y'all want to talk about some shit
Ty
luck?
Gibbs, and Kyle.
Y'all want to talk about some
Kyle
shit
before
luck?
that.
What do we got?
I have picked last on back-to-back weeks with Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell.
Speaking
What
of,
the actual fuck.
I'm picking Christopher Bell. Next up will be the Bury boy, JB, who picks Eric Jones.
Oh.
How does the rest
Last
of
year,
the saying go?
Southern
He only
500
does good
winner.
when it's night.
Won the Southern 500 last year. Then I believe Bradley is next because he had Tyler Reddick. And his pick will be Kevin Harvick.
Ding, ding. He won.
Next up, this guy picked Bubba. Sal.
Kyle Larson.
Kyle Larson. A big old pick there. Then it'll be
Me?
Egan.
Show me my sheet. Fuck.
Pick,
This
Timmy,
it's looking like a throwaway.
Timmy Raikkonen.
Yeah, I bet I do. I'll take
Dude,
Johnson before I do that.
Dude, Pastrana.
Travis
I'll take
Pastrana.
Newman.
Jensen Button.
I'll take Newman.
He's
Are
gonna
you
take
I'm gonna take Newman. I'm gonna take Ryan Newman.
Okay, Ryan Newman on the podcast.
Heyo.
Didn't expect that. Maddie, you're closing us out. Leader of the points right now. What do you got?
Who did I pick in the beginning for like the first 3 races? Just because
I think Matt's out of the big hitters.
He out of the big boys.
Not necessarily. I'm going to use Tyler Reddick.
Oh.
Okay.
Reddick was good here
Now
last
he's
year.
out of the big hitters.
That
Probably.
was it.
That's fine. That's all right.
All right, that was the pod picks. Now we do one of our favorite segments. We are going long today, but that's fine. We have a lot to discuss. It is the throwback week,
Ew.
so we're going to look at some throwback schemes.
I'm probably going to bounce out of here.
All right,
Get ready-
Maddie.
Get ready for work.
Oh, this guy's a beast.
It was nice
Thank you,
seeing
Matt.
y'all. I was glad to be able to
Later,
make a reappearance. I'll try to show up again next week.
All righty. Adios, Matt.
Yeah.
Salute.
Okay. So now there's just 5 of us, a 5 spot here to review these paint schemes. I don't know if
5
all
bid.
of them are here. I'm going to do, we're 5 bid.
My bad.
Okay. Let's start off with this, which
Can
I
we
will
go
give
through?
a lot.
Can we just do the Dell Jarrett throwbacks first? Because
Let's
that's
just
going to
get
be
Dale
half the
Jarrett
list.
out of the way
Can we
first.
combine Ricky Stenhouse with this one?
Yeah.
But I think this one has great execution.
It's much better than the Stenhouse
Mhm.
one. 'cause
Stenhouse-
you
I mean,
actually
it's
got
the
UPS
actual
back
sponsor.
in the car. Yeah, and they also did the number font.
brought
I
the-
think better.
And they brought the old logo back. Because that's not UPS's logo anymore.
And that thing's gonna look real good when it's backed into the fence.
That you didn't need to do
Who's
that.
sending him?
Why doesn't Fox
Noah
get Dale
Gregson.
Jarrett in the booth for a race?
Ooh.
Because he works for
Here-
NBC.
Here we
Kyle
go.
Petty does.
No, so does Dale Jr., but he is going to be there, though, because he's given the command
Is he?
with a
I think
few
Dale Jarrett-
former
Dale
Coca-Cola
Jarrett-
drivers.
Dale Jarrett is such an underrated guy in the booth. I think they should bring him back. This for me is actually like a 10 out of 10. Like I have this diecast. I'll actually pull it out and just because how much I like it.
You just like show him off.
I don't know if this is
Right.
Ryan's going to go grab his too.
Is
Okay.
this the same year? Yeah. Can you guys see it?
That might be like the year after, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be 02 maybe.
Because I'm pretty
That's
sure
right.
that was his rookie car, right?
No,
They throw him back to.
no, Dale Jarrett
Who?
did not.
Dale Jarrett was a rookie way
With Joe
before.
Gibbs.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was okay. Never mind. It's not rookie.
Didn't-
That was
First
his first UPS car in 2001.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, didn't Dale Jarrett start with Gibbs when Gibbs
Yeah,
first
yeah, I
started
forgot. I
in the
forgot.
18 Interstate Batteries car?
Yeah. It was the
He
first
actually drove the
UPS
21 car,
that was
too, for a little bit. So actually,
Yeah.
he started before the 18 car.
Okay.
Then people forget he was in the Haviline 28 for a little bit
Oh,
too.
I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
think about that.
Before they
Yeah.
took him to an 88.
Now let's look at this one.
Nice car, but
The sponsor's
Not
too
good
big.
execution.
I don't like the sponsor on the car. It's just
I think if this was a
Too
paint
much.
scheme in general, like if this wasn't Kevin Harvick's last year, this would be a cool throwback because it's looking like an old style Sunny D car, which I actually like. I like when teams when they don't always throw back to a specific car, even though this one kind of is. I do like when brands throw back to themselves.
Yeah.
But this it doesn't really do it for me. It's a really nice looking car. But
I just don't like how it's not true to the colors though either. Like I know it's
Yeah.
hard
Yeah,
to do for
exactly.
Sunny D, but like
but if you notice the yellow is where it's at.
the yellow's the
For
same,
LL.
This
but
That's the whole
that's
thing.
not blue. That's orange.
No. This is where I kind of. This is where I.
Well, I mean, it's Sunny D. It's orange juice, not blue juice.
This is
Not
where. This is where I wish they would have pulled out.
You want to know blue juice? You've been hanging around the wrong Smurfs.
This is where
I
I wish they.
wanted it to do Reese cups, but I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
I
we'll
forgot
get
about
that at
Reese cups.
Darlington in the fall because some teams still treat that as a throwback weekend too.
I forgot about
Mhm.
Reese cups. This is where I wish they. I wish they might have done a Budweiser.
I do like the car
scheme.
though.
I almost felt like they were gonna do Budweiser for this one, but they didn't. I don't mind the car as a normal but hit or miss. I say 7 out of 10.
I can rock with that. Oh baby. Ooh.
This is awesome.
Tribute
Does
to the
this
dad.
make me feel some type of way? holy mackerel. I mean, this is just the number font is there. And while it's literally just a red car, this scheme has so much nostalgia for me with that number. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. I think it's great. I'm surprised it took this long for Chase to like do a proper
Well, I think
Bill
if you
Elliott
notice,
throwback.
they do by the year, they kind of go in the same time frame. It seems like this year is the 2000s. Dale Jarrett,
Yeah, they have a
Harvick's
theme.
LOL,
I think
Bill
I've talked about it
Elliott.
before. Is that they have a
Don't
theme?
they have
right?
it like themed?
Yeah, they do it by decade, and so this
Yeah.
year it is the 2000s and up. So next year it'll be 2010, which is weird.
I really do like this scheme. Just the throwback 9. I think this is one of the.
That's the best part about it for me.
I think it's pure nostalgia, especially just because I remember that number 9 scheme, pure red. I think
Seeing
this
him
is
Evernham 9 on a Hendrick car is interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, former
And seeing
crew
a
chief,
scheme that was purely sponsored by Dodge on a Chevy is also interesting.
it's very ironic, but it's actually pretty cool.
I think it's great. I mean, I have this diecast ordered, and so I'm a big fan of it. 10 out of 10 for me for that one. This one also really, really nice. Dale Jr.'s 2001 Pepsi
400.
That he won in using lesson learns from his father, the All-Star Game car with Budweiser. I guess Eric Almirola just picked this because he likes it, and the Canapolis
He did. I think he made a post about it of how he.
Yeah, they asked him what he
race and like the emotions of it, and he said it was like one of the most memorable races he ever watched of his like kind of younger adulthood and stuff.
Yeah, so he was there at the Canapolis Cannonballs game, which I have a hat for that team. Yeah, and that's very, very nice. I mean, it's an iconic car. We have a baseball man running across the side of it, which is nice. Baseball seams. So great scheme. Big baseball guy here. So you're not going to get me to complain about this. This is very nice. Cool throwback too to Dave Blaney's real like kind of peak of his career in the World of Outlaws cars.
Is it though?
Really? Yeah, that's where he won like championships in that domain.
Yeah.
So that's
I
where
don't see the similarities in the paint though.
It's just because the Menards.
I should have thrown it back to when he drove the '93 car.
Oh, the Jasper car.
Yeah.
Haven't they done that?
I don't know. They did. They done it early.
I thought they did that. I could be wrong. This is very nice.
I like this. This is a very, very good scheme. I like the
That's just a good scheme on its own.
I like
really is.
I like the scheme. I like the yellow numbers on the side.
It's nice.
I
like yellow numbers.
This is a beautiful scheme. I just like how I like the flames, the white and the red, everything. I love it.
And I also like that with this and the last car, that's not a throwback to NASCAR. It's a throwback to, Tony Stewart doing the Turkey Night Grand Prix. Yeah. So I like that. Another great scheme for me. I like it.
I feel like that 20 that 20 number should have been a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
and it's kind of ironic that this car has the number placed further back, so we moved it up for more sponsor space. Yet DeWalt uses more space here than they do.
Okay, wait a minute now. That looks like a rendering, is it?
It is.
Yeah. So maybe it's not true to form.
But they don't really have room.
Right.
They don't really have room though, because listen, so the black stripe there on the door starts in about the same spot that it does on both cars, right? But the quarter panels, the rear quarter panels on these next gen cars are much fucking shorter than they used to be.
True.
So that's where they're losing that space at.
Well, I think they could have moved this up.
I think they could have moved the 20 back, is what I say.
I think
they actually went out of their way to move it to the front too much.
And can I say
back to like here?
Can I say that I am getting a little Matt Kenseth DeWalt throwback fatigue?
Yeah,
because I feel like we see a car similar to this
every
well, it's because DeWalt don't change their fucking
like every year.
They don't change the scheme.
17 did it last year.
Yeah.
So yeah. Whoa,
Now this one
is
looks
a really good one.
I really like this one too.
So that's like 90s, like 99, 98.
Great scheme for Jeff Burton here, and Harrison Burton will run it. I think it's great. The pink looks awesome. I think NASCAR needs more like unique colors like this on their schemes. I feel like all Burton's X-Side battery cars were awesome.
Yeah.
So this is a great scheme for me. One of my favorites, actually.
I feel like we've seen this one before.
This was one
They've
of the
done
first
this
ones
before.
announced. This was the first one that was announced this year.
I don't remember where, but I've seen this throwback done before.
I have
like
too.
it.
Yeah, it has.
I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I do feel like it has happened before.
It looks like and that scheme looks too familiar.
It's nice though.
It is very nice.
Next up. Oh my goodness, do I like this?
Is this the throwback to the Jurassic?
No,
Okay.
the 50th anniversary car
Yeah,
that Jeff
Oh.
Gordon ran,
we're in the 75th.
which is
anniversary.
ironic because it's the 75th. Yeah,
That's probably why they did that.
that's why. Yeah, but it's also the same time period. 98 was so.
Which I think this scheme is very, very nice. Of course, the Jeff Gordon fan in me will say that. I love this.
Technically, same sponsor. They just renamed themselves. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. I just wish this was like here, but I digress. Can we get rid of that? What is that doing?
That's what was
The
on
Chevy.
that's what was on the original car.
Was it actually?
Yep.
I think Hendrick also just does this on their rendering. I don't think it's actually
Right.
there on the real car.
So I saw this and I thought it was a Dale Jarrett throwback. Also, I thought this was the quality foreign,
that went back to
Oh,
Elton
yeah.
Sawyer.
quality Ford Auto Care. Yeah, Elton Sawyer. He ran the Barbasol 38 in the Xfinity series. That's probably why, because it was a 38. But I think this is a very nice scheme. Looks really good. Definitely does remind me of the Dale Jarrett quality Ford car. But yeah, good execution. I think the blue's a little off, but
Did the best they could.
still nice. I like this.
Yeah.
Ryan Priest throwing back to his dad, Jeff Priest.
You want to find the irony in this scheme that the door number on that
Is
late model
back.
car is
Yeah.
back
Yes.
towards the rear tire, and on this one it's towards the front tire.
I just think it's cool. Like I like unique throwbacks that don't.
That looks like the All-Star race car with the number
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. I like this though. It's very simple, and I think it actually looks better than the regular United Rentals car.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm interested to see that blue kind of looks like a deep royal blue that I
That
think
looks
will be
really
like
nice.
kind of
I
like
do
a
like
good
it.
metallic shine under the lights.
Yeah.
So this is Jimmy Johnson 2014 Coke 600 throwback from Noah Gregson. I
blue
saw
is
this.
way
I thought
off.
I thought this was. I saw this game and I was like, oh, he's running this at Charlotte. This looks like Jimmy's scheme, and then I realized that it was meant to be Jimmy's scheme and it's not being run at Charlotte. But it's nice. I like it. I mean,
They should have done the same thing that they did with Ryan Priest's blue. They should have done on this one because that's how Jimmy's car was.
Right.
it is very nice though. The Jimmy Johnson Power of Pride schemes were some of my favorites. You've got.
I'm
this
assuming
one-
that one has to do with the sponsor. If you go back up, that's probably their color, that blue.
Probably.
Yeah.
Why is what is that?
The
That was back
43
when
car.
That
that's
was back
for-
when they ran hard black tops. Yeah, it
Was
wasn't
it?
painted.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
literally just a matte black hard top. Yeah.
Speaking of which,
43
flying
though
that airline.
is like legit 43 from the day.
Yeah.
They
I
need
mean,
to keep
this
that
is-
on there all the time.
Well, they're gonna throw it back to Richard Petty every year. So it
I'm
looks
talking about
nice.
the number though. It needs to stay that
No,
way.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm saying that this
43 is
is
always going to be a Richard Petty throwback. Yeah.
Well, you know what though? This they could have thrown it back to John Andretti,
I wouldn't mind
who
seeing the
died
Taylor car.
of cancer.
Yeah.
That would have been a good throwback. And who was in it? Bobby Hamilton Sr. What drove that car,
Yeah.
also dead of cancer. So
Yeah.
they could have threw it back to somebody besides fucking Petty. Petty don't even have his name in the fucking team. He's just there as a mascot.
So this is a throwback we've seen already, but I do like that it's paying tribute to Kurt Busch. Got Kurt Busch's logo on the front of it even.
That's pretty cool.
I think that is really nice.
So this is a cool scheme. The Rubbermaid 2003 scheme from Kurt Busch. We have seen it before on the 41 with Kurt Busch, but I think this is nice, and I think it's a good thing to pay tribute to Kurt Busch, especially considering that he probably should be in that car this year. Next up, we have this that we're
We've
already
seen
talked
it.
about.
Absolute W.
Yes. Now,
This
colors are a
might-
bit
It
off.
also gives me Texaco Havoline vibes.
Well,
but I
that's
know
what
it's
it
not.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because no, it was because Kevin Hamlin drove the Havoline car in the Xfinity Series in 2007. So this is actually what that's throwing back to is a Havoline scheme.
Who is his spotter, by the way, Kevin Hamlin?
Yes, that's
People
why
who don't
that's
know.
why he's throwing it back to that. I like how Bowman's throwing it back to he threw it back to Greg Ives a couple of years ago, and now he's throwing it back to Kevin Hamlin, which is cool.
Kevin Hamlin better watch out for his job now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is a really
It's
nice
the goodbye
scheme, in my opinion.
scheme.
Yeah, see you later, Kev. This is a really nice scheme. I mean, I feel like all the Havoline cars always looked awesome. Couple like this is more of like a bright yellow, and they have it as a gold to match the number here, which it's fine. I think it it's not the same, but it does look very nice still.
I don't think they probably didn't want to get it confused with Jimmy Johnson because he used to run bright yellow too.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Here is a throwback to Bobby Labonte's Football Hall of Fame scheme with the Washington Commanders.
When Joe Gibbs made the
kind of colors on there. So I mean, football schemes, woohoo, or big sport scheme throwback this year. I mean, I really like it. I love the continuity to the Washington football team's colors here. And I think it is very nice. I find it kind of funny that this was an Interstate Batteries car, yet they can't have it for here. Which, I mean, who cares? But I think it still looks nice and is pretty accurate to the old scheme.
Color.
This one is awesome.
This one, yeah.
This is a really good one.
Everything is perfect with this one on accuracy. The numbers are right. The scheme is perfect. You have the sponsor. I mean, this is
even
a 10
using
out of
their
10
old logo.
throwback.
Yeah.
This is a 10 out of 10 throwback in my opinion. So good on Suarez for that one. And now we're going to get into some Xfinity schemes. We have Cole Custer posed up all nerdy in front of this throwback scheme that's already been used.
Is this a throwback to his car from like 5 years ago?
Jason Leffler.
No, Jason Leffler.
Oh,
But who ran it? Kurt?
I think
Kurt
so.
ran.
I think
They've ran
so.
in the Cup Series before. So, I mean, it's fine. It's still a very nice scheme and nice to
Yeah.
remember Jason Leffler with. A Kurt Busch throwback scheme
Sharpie.
to a Sharpie car. I think this is great. I mean, you got
Pretty
the
accurate,
cursor
except for the
font.
sponsor.
It is very
Yeah.
accurate.
But
You got-
I like how the sponsor, even though, tried to go out of their
Close
way.
enough, yeah.
Yeah,
with the
where
Yeah,
that-
tried their
where
best.
that-
They tried their
where that
best.
strip
with
of
the-
color is with the blue and white and blue, that's where a Sharpie pin was on Kurt's
Yeah.
car. And
and
they
you
went
look
out
at
of their
this,
way
it's
to
like
kind
the
of
Sharpie
change it.
logo, and then they
Yeah.
had a different logo of themselves, kind of in the Rubbermaid vein over here.
Yeah.
So good on Accelerate. I'm not sure what they do, but they executed this very well. I don't know who this is being thrown back to.
I think it's a throwback to the
Is
sponsor's
that Ty Dillon?
first
Yes.
first NASCAR race.
So
That is
Todd
Ty
running.
Dillon.
That is Ty Dillon.
He exists. Brandt throwing back to themselves. Fine.
I know Brant with fertilizer. You learn something new every day.
That's fine.
I knew it was some kind of
And-
farming company. I don't know.
Future Cup Series champion Josh Berry throwing it back to Hut Strickland here. They unveiled it on the Dale Jr. download with Hut Strickland. Very nice scheme. I like it.
I like
So,
it too.
yeah.
Very nice.
This one is not throwing
Ooh.
back to anybody, but this looks incredible.
Oh yeah.
This might be genuinely my favorite one yet, honestly. Out of
like
at
that.
least out of the Xfinity cars. This
Yeah.
looks really nice. This is weird to me because the 18 I feel like should be tilted the other way on the top of the car. Because that's not how the 18 usually is. But besides the point, I mean the colors here are really nice.
And this isn't a throwback to anybody?
It's a throwback to
The number font
their
to
old-
me, it's a throwback to Joe Gibbs' early days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
The font.
Perhaps, yeah. But yeah, this is a throwback to like Pilot Flying J, their old logo, and
Beautiful
I guess-
scheme.
yeah, this is really nice. Really, really nice.
Another Tim Richmond.
We've seen this before.
Bowman.
but it still looks very nice.
Bowman did
And
this
you've got the
2 years ago.
number
He didn't.
here, the exact same number with the number font, which I think is pretty good execution. So I'm a fan of this. This is just honoring fire workers. So shout out firefighters. I mean, this is nice. It looks like a fireman. Bob Keselowski got a mention
Hey.
earlier on in this pod.
Who is that though? Driving it.
Dawson.
Go down a little
Graham.
bit. A little bit more.
Who
Okay.
cares? It's not
Dawson.
making the race anyways.
Dawson Cram. Yeah. So, I mean, it's nice. Very accurate. So, shout out Dawson Cram. Oh, Tegan.
Yeah. There's
yeah.
probably a few Harvick ones on this if it's been updated today.
Yeah. Josh
There should be
Williams.
4 total.
This is a 10 out of 10 for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is
I would love to see Harvick actually go down and take a picture with that car.
That'd be really cool. This one, throwing it all the way back to RC.
With the same sponsor.
Is it CR? Wow,
Here's-
Yeah.
Yeah, CRC.
CRC.
that's cool.
They're that owed. Trust me.
And this is perfect execution, also in my opinion. This one is awesome.
The Wheaties
Like-
car, ain't it?
Yep.
Yeah, this is really nice. And you got the Earnhardt name.
And
on it.
Earnhardt name on it, yeah. The
Oh,
same
it's Jeff
font.
Gridman.
If you see Forever, that's
Yeah.
the same font that Goodwrench uses.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is the same font as the 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Oh wow,
Jeff
Jeff
Bodine.
Bodine.
whoa,
Throwback.
that looks really
That's
nice.
yeah,
actually.
that looks really good too.
That's really
Look,
really good.
Xfinity stepped up their game this year compared to Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very well.
I really like that. Here's Herbie.
That's a good one.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's not a bad looking car, yeah.
I like
That's-
it.
I'm actually a big fan of that, to be
Yeah.
honest. I think that's kind of cool. I would love to see another like.
I mean, that's actually based off the movie that was filmed at Auto Club back in 2000, early 2000
yeah.
with Lindsay Lohan. So
Yeah. Herbie. Yep. So I like that. This one, the number font on this is perfect.
Mhm.
Oh, this is Harvard. This was when Harvard
That was a
won in the Xfinity.
cool
Series.
fucking car. Because that was
It
drove at the Mexican road course and Mexican candy.
Sure,
Gotta
No,
go.
no, no, no.
My
We gotta-
bad.
we gotta-
Hispanic candy.
No, it's Mexican candy. You got it right.
Oh, now you want to take credit for it, right?
Now you got it right.
And then
Now, this
Riley
one was
Herb.
released today.
Absolute W
This
for
is
this one. This
awesome.
one was today. Yeah.
This is so nice, and it's kind of out of character for Monster because it seems like they usually don't do anything for this.
Yeah.
But this is their guy.
Yeah,
So-
Ken Block, probably one of their biggest brand ambassadors. I think the scheme is
Oh, it's beautiful.
very, very nice. The orange is really nice here, and then nice to pay tribute to Ken Block, who we did lose. Now we're on to the truck series. Nick
Also, there's
Sampson going
two on
back-
here that are not on, that were released today. That's not on that list.
What do
There's
we
a
have?
Mario Andretti.
Harvick had the 2
Harvick?
and the 21.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we did see that. I think they've done the 21 one before. Actually, they did that a couple
I
years
The
don't
ago.
photo
think
that they
so.
released for it
Harvick.
wasn't very good though, because you can only see the front of the cars. You can't really see
Yeah.
unless they release more images. The only one I saw was those two.
So here's we have a lot of Red Horse throwbacks here. This is to Herman Quiroga Jr.
Technically, that was their Toyota's entry into NASCAR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was in that series and in that team.
Red Horse Racing, kind of an iconic truck series team. Here's another one to Todd Bodine. Another nice car.
Oh,
This is to Herschel McGriff. Wow, that's actually
Re-
pretty cool.
really old throwback.
I really kind of like that, to be honest. That's coul. Roger Caruth with the
Wendell
Wendell Scott
Scott.
Foundation, throwing back to Wendell Scott.
Ooh.
Sean Woodside. Who is that?
Ryan Vargas.
Yeah, I don't know who Sean Woodside is. Who he's throwing back to?
Go down a little
Yeah.
bit, you'll see West Series champion right there.
It's before I was not born yet. Okay,
Buckshot.
Jones throwback. Same
That
sponsor.
motherfucker's
and
been
everything,
cut
too.
when I started watching.
Same sponsor too. I mean, that's pretty cool. accurate too. Same sponsor, everything. Maybe the logo's a little bit off, but
It looks
okay.
nice.
That logo was ugly.
And
Oh,
here's the race.
This was a
Truck
really
scheme.
good one.
I like this a lot. Yeah. One of my favorite Jarrett schemes back in the day, and hosts of our running it this year. Very, very nice. And then
They're petty.
yeah, I mean, yes, we've seen this
too many
before.
times.
Another
The
petty.
Victory
We
Junction
saw this
car.
this was literally ran last year, wasn't it? By somebody?
No, Bubba ran it.
Bubba ran it a few years ago, I think. Yeah.
But it's a nice scheme, so and it's a 45, which was the actual number for it, so I like it. Teddy
There's
Musgrave.
Ted Musgrave. Yeah, I remember that truck too.
That's a name that is deep in my brain in NASCAR nostalgia. This is really nice. Ted Musgrave, I feel like he was pretty solid in the truck series early on in its inception. So that's a cool throwback for that. And that's it.
A lot of good paint schemes.
Definitely. And that's what I like about Darlington. I'm not sure what they're really going to do they're going to run out of ideas. I feel like at some point. So
I think its stuff is starting to run its course. It kind of started running its course a few years ago. It's the reason why they kind of switched it up to earlier in the year when Darlington got 2 races to kind of, spruce it up a little bit and give another network a shot at it.
Yeah, and I feel like that maybe we'll see more brands throwing back to themselves.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be a cool thing.
That's what Busch does with Harvick, except this year.
Yeah, which I like, actually. And of course, I like the old schemes. And there's definitely still some to be done. But I think it's cool. And
Yeah.
I think that I see them not stopping this anytime soon. They're going to milk this until it's dry. Because it's a conversation. People like it. I mean, we spent a half hour of this podcast doing it. So,
yeah.
Yeah. I think that's about it, though. Did we? I don't think we covered all of our bases, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to mention Bradley winning the doubleheader last night.
Bradley won the doubleheader last night.
Big whoop. I'm getting tired of this motherfucker winning. I'm going to do
Maybe
like Spencer.
Is it someone else's turn to win?
It's somebody else's turn to win, damn it, and it's mine.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's got more wins than I do this year.
He does. Good for Bradley. Wessel's texting his girlfriend.
Brenda? Why are you so quiet?
Blood is waffling. Take us home, music.
Big yawn, Sal.
Sal is sleepy. He said his
Sal
name
acts
tag.
like he worked hard today. Hey, you work at AutoZone, right, Sal?
Yeah.
He's Mexican. Of course he
I
worked
just
hard.
spent almost
Jesus Christ.
$500.
Oh, we haven't even ended yet.
about?
We haven't even ended yet.
Oh, I'm used to them working in the fields.
What a way to end.